Okay, so this is Asia User Group Eldoret, and yeah, we welcome you. So Asia User Group Eldoret is dedicated to fostering a thriving, respectful, friendly, and professional experience for all. We welcome and support all members in a safe and inclusive environment where everyone can scale the cloud together. Our core principles are purpose. Our core principles. So the first one is our purpose. Our purpose is to be inclusive, safe. Okay. Our purpose is to make an inclusive, safe, collaborative, and professional and space that fosters professional growth for all. And we welcome people from all backgrounds, gender, ages, and races. And one thing is we should be respectful and friendly in how we deal with people. We should also listen and avoid criticism. Yeah. So for today's session is all about building AI agents with Microsoft Foundry. And our speaker for the day is Daniel Gomez. He's a 5-time Microsoft MVP, and we are really happy to have him here, and we can't wait for what he has to share with us. And with that, allow me to welcome Gomez. Welcome.
Hey, hello everyone. It's a whole pleasure to be able to be here today for this presentation. Through the presentation, we can interact with each other, in this case, with questions, comments, or ideas that we can have in mind. So, yeah, you can consider that. Thank you for the presentation as well. I hope you can hear me fine. So, yeah, I'm going to share here my screen. Probably you are seeing this now, right? Just to
Yes, yes.
confirm. Yeah, nice. Thank you. So yeah, this session is all about building AI agents with Microsoft Foundry. In this particular case, we are going to see all the things that we can achieve with this, let's say, like new tool. To create the agents, orchestrate them, integrate some tools like MCP servers, for example, and see the different solutions that we can contemplate as well. Um, I'm Daniel Gomez from Colombia, software engineer, Microsoft Foundry MVP, and Developer Technologies MVP with Microsoft. And it's a good pleasure to be able to be here today. Also, if you are watching the recording, hey there. All right. The technology is advancing in, in an incredible way. If you remember these expressions few years ago, not too much years ago, but yeah, just a few time ago. There is an app for that. That was the expression with the announcement of the iPhone. And yeah, that's the reality of today. For example, we have apps for everywhere to do a lot of things. For example, to coordinate this event in Teams, social networks, mail. I don't know. We have an app for all the scenarios that we can contemplate. Today, we can have something similar. Hey, there is an agent for that. So we can contemplate agents to have a chat, like, in ChatGPT, cloud, and all of that. Maybe all of us already, well, interacted with these agents in many ways, but we can also find them in health solutions, business, in education as well, in economics, code agents, of course. We use those a lot of in our daily work, service, and also for purchasing some stuff as well. We can find agents everywhere. So that's the thing. Hey, if we can find agents everywhere, um, we have to learn how to create them as well. Because today, for example, we see a new era of the things that we can achieve with these agents. So in terms of automations, if we look few years ago, let's say it that way, to automations, or to create systems, we have the perspective to, hey, we have database, and then we need to structure the data in tables and all of that. Of course, we are we still need to do those things. But hey, we have to structure all the data as much as we can to then add logic, business solutions in code, and all of that to be able to handle that data. And everything has to be organized, structured in the code. So with agents, now we have like this option of, hey, use generative AI models to structure that data and interact or organize that logic with these agents. So right now we are not in terms of coding, for example, we are not coding anymore. We are trying to describe the things that we want to do with agents and do the implementation. So a good question could be, hey, are you still coding today in these days? Yeah, you can think about it because at the end, um, it's not replacing like the engineering stuff or the coding, but at the end, that's true. We are describing the things that we want to implement to those still in these tools with agents. So the good thing here is to try to think. So in this case, what do we need to do to create these agents, or what do we need to contemplate or have in mind to adopt these agents in our solutions? Because if we have applications, web, mobile, and all of that, maybe we don't need to create agents everywhere. We need to think in the purpose or the value that those agents are going to provide to our solutions. So before to create agents, it's important to think about the adoption to implement these agents. So we can contemplate here the adoption framework, and I'm going to share this resource with you. We can find a lot of frameworks right now today from Microsoft, Amazon, Google, but in this particular case, I'm going to present you the example of Microsoft. Um, Most of the frameworks have this similar idea, but in this case, hey, if we want to implement agents in our organizations or or in a client solution, um, as a first point, if we see in this AI agent adoption framework, as a first point, we need to plan the agents to say, hey, what do we need the agent? What is the work of this agent? What is the value of this agent in our organization, for example? Yeah, so that's the first point in, for example, in the implementation of agents. Plan the agent. So the business plan, technology plan, organization in terms, and of course the data that we are going to need or use to implement these agents. So that's the first part. See if those agents are going to have value to our organizations. Then govern and secure agents. Always in AI, we are talking about principles of AI responsible in terms of transparency, security, privacy, and all of that to implement AI in our solutions. So we have something similar here, responsible AI in agents, and then governance in agents too. In this case, hey, see how can we adopt these agents, prepare the environments that we are going to use. In this case, for example, we are going to add an agent in our web applications or in Teams. So we need to contemplate all of that as first. When we have that in mind, hey, we can start building the agents or the technological part to see, hey, we are going to create one agent, too many agents, orchestrate them, all of that process of the building agent. And then when we already have the agents, we always need to manage those agents in terms of evaluate if they are working fine according to the things that the agents were created in this case to see if the agents are achieving the goal, the agents are helping with the problems, the initial problems, and of course seeing another things like hey the cost, the operation, and in a general way see that everything is working fine. So adoption framework is the key in all of this process. So you can have in mind this AI and adoption framework from Microsoft to to see how to adopt and create agents. With this in mind, yeah, let's talk about, well, in this particular case, building agents. So before to talk about that, let's have in mind the general idea of the nature of the agent. So in an agent, always we need a generative AI model or a base model to be able to have the conversations and all of that with the agent. It's not just a chat bot because here we are going to have um, memory or data knowledge or our knowledge base with data and all of that. And also actions that we can perform with this agent. For example, actions, hey, send an email, read a report, uh, and all of that. So yeah, in agent, we have the base model, and as a first point, we have an input that could be a question from the user, a message from other agent, a notification from a system as well. So yeah, that's the input, the general prompt, the initial text, and all of that. Then in the agent, as I already mentioned, yeah, we can find information in a knowledge base, perform actions, see the memory of the previous informations that we interact with the agent, and then have an output. In this case, could be, yeah, agent messages, the response, and all of that. So yeah, we are going to see in this presentation in the next minutes how can we build agents with Azure in this particular case. And just to provide you an idea, we have many ways to create agents in the Microsoft ecosystem. And I'm going to just provide you a general overview. In software or no, in cloud computing, we are always talking about the services that we can use. Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, and other ones as well. But in this particular or general perspective, in infrastructure as a service, we can contemplate the Azure AI infrastructure, in this case, to use our own frameworks to train new models, to test them, to provide like everything to be able to have our models there, like in the concept of infrastructure as a service. Then in platform as a service, we can use Microsoft Foundry. This presentation is for that. In this case, we are personalizing things or customizing things. In this case, we have a base model, we can customize that and our own tools, everything as a platform as a service perspective. There is also a software as a service product, in this case, Copilot Studio. You have a graphical user interface to be able to create agent and tools. Pretty similar, the same process, but from the concept of low-code, no-code perspective. So yeah, this is the tools or the solutions that we can contemplate. In this particular case, we are going to see in detail Microsoft Foundry. Microsoft Foundry, previously known as Azure AI Foundry, this is like the space to create, orchestrate, and work everything related with agents. In this case, to contemplate as a first point the models that we can use, of course, the agent service to work on everything about agents, IQ, to work about knowledge base, the database that we can connect, everything about data to our agents, tools to connect to the actions that we contemplate, and of course, machine learning process that we can add as well. So with this in mind, and if you remember the concept of agents, we need as a first point models to build an agent. And in Foundry, we can find 11,000 and more models, in this case, directly in Azure or with external agreements. For example, directly in Azure, we can see models from Azure OpenAI, DeepSeek, Mistral, from Grok as well, from Meta. So yeah, those models are directly in Azure. You can use that with your Azure subscription. If you have credits, all of that, that will be in terms of cost directly into your Azure subscription. So yeah, those are Azure Direct models. All of them hosted in Azure. We can use them there, but we can contemplate other models as well. Community and partner models. For example, the famous family of models today are from Anthropic, the cloud model family. Very popular today, not just for code process, also for other things as well. We can use them as well here, but the difference is, for example, for cloud models, um, we need to pay to cloud directly, um, or to Anthropic. This is a separate billing, because this is the specific requirements for this specific family of cloud models. So yeah, that's the particular case. But for example, if we want to use models from Hugging Face, if you don't know, Hugging Face is like a huge platform that we can use or find open source models. Many of them are free, for example, but it depends of the requirements of each model. So for example, we can use them, NVIDIA models, and a thousand of additional models here as well. It depends of the requirements or the conditions of each partner or model. So yeah, you can have at the end direct models in Azure that you can pay in this case for considering the tokens in Azure, or external models as well. You can also contemplate the tools. Tools, remember actions that we can perform in our agents. Um, those tools formally consider Azure AI services, or if you already work with these features, those are cognitive services as well. And if we are talking about tools, hey, you can use MCP servers of many uh, MCP servers available today. So yeah, you can connect those tools uh, in our agents in Foundry as well. All right, official MCP servers in Foundry tools. Yeah, you can see here some partners, for example, Atlassian, GitHub, MongoDB, Vercel, and many others to integrate MCP servers in our Foundry space. Something additional to mention is Foundry is considering an agnostic platform, but because at the end you are not paying um, for Foundry. Foundry is just a space to create agents. Um, but at the end, the thing that you are going to use, hey, is the models. And in this case, you are going to pay with the input and output messages in those models. So at the end, it depends of the models that you can use, or the models that you are going to use. Also, of course, there are related resources like, hey, if you have a database in Azure, an Azure Blob Storage, yeah, those are, we have to pay for those separately. So yeah, those are externals, but at the end, hey, those are part of the infrastructure of our agents as well. So with that introduction, hey, let's see a lot of demos as much as we can to see how this works. So yeah, I'm going to stop here and share the demos. Remember, if you have questions, comments, you can write in the chat, and I'm going to share here again. All right. Actually, I'm going here. Let me put this here. All right. I'm going to the Azure portal. Maybe so familiar for you, right? Here we need an Azure resource. You can go here to search that one, in this case, Foundry, Microsoft Foundry. Because with this resource, we are going to be able to create a project in Microsoft Foundry, and in that project, be able to create agents, the instance for or deployed generative AI models and all of that. All right, in Foundry, if we go here to create the resource, as a first point, we need the subscription, the resource group. This is pretty similar like another one. Let's select these demos. We just need, as a first point, the name of this Foundry demo and the region. In the region, we already use, of course. In the region, yeah, this is the same concept in the cloud computing, but this specific thing for Foundry is some functionalities. Actually, some models are available in specific regions that another ones, so we need to contemplate that as well. We can go to this link to see pricing details, for example, in terms of using models. Yeah, we can see here, but that I don't see detail examples in detail. But yeah, you can see that in detail here. Pricing detail. Yeah. Okay. Please always have that in mind. Then we are going to have the option to create our first project, in this case, the name, and then that'll be all. Review and create, but hey, you can contemplate here additional or related resources like storage, for example, if you need to create an agent to read information from a PDF. Yeah, you need to storage that in an Azure storage, for example. So yeah, you can set up that here as well. Network, in this case, the access to the agents in terms of, hey, you can filter that for a specific IPs or something like that, or specific networks, identities, encryptions, and that'll be all. You can review that everything is fine and create the project. I already have one here. Um, And here, technically, the only thing is this option. Go to Foundry Portal. Go to Foundry Portal. And in this one, if you didn't know Microsoft Foundry, well, this is the space. Here you have the API key, the project endpoint, and also, since you need a base model, hey, you can have directly an Azure OpenAI endpoint. You are not forced to use that one. You can definitely deploy another base model to your agent. So let's do that. Let's explore that. So here in the build section, well, I already have a lot of agents here. You can see in the options models, fine-tune, tools, knowledge, data, evaluations, guardrails as well. So the first one, models. In models, we need to deploy a base model to be able to use that in an agent. We can customize that. We have another resources as well. So as a first point, we are going to see this option, deploys a base model. So here, well, there are not too much in this project, well, in my project, but if we are going to see these all models, we can see, hey, 11,000 or more models. We can filter here the models that we can use. But for example, yeah, we have a lot of models here, not just to have like the interactions by chat, also, for example, to generate images, to have communications in real time by voice, and other models as well. So for example, this one, Cloud, from Anthropic, we can see here um, the general purpose of this model, the use cases, the pricing as well, uh, technically the conditions to use this specific model. For example, you can see here, pricing is based on number of factors. See pricing detail here. Azure credits cannot be applied to cloud models. That's the things that we talked about earlier. So we can see here, the pricing details here. It's always to have that in mind. So yeah, we have here these specific conditions from Anthropic. Um, but in this case, I have an Azure subscription, so let's go to another one. um, um, yeah, we have many options here. For example, GPT 5.4 Nano, we can go here and um, deploy by default or with custom settings. In this particular case, we can perform a deployment type to say, hey, how many tokens we can use per minute. So we can personalize that here. It depends on the model. So, and also guardrails in this case of content safety and all of that. So yeah, we can deploy that, but I already have these models here created. Let's go here to Discover again. Sorry, to build. I already have these models. So let's go to agents. I'm going to create a new one to the Azure user group. All right, and this is the space. We already have an agent actually, but this is the space to create the agents. As a first point, we need the model, as you remember. So I'm going to use this one, for example, GPT-5 for Mini. The instructions, this is the general prompt of the system. We can have here tools or the actions that with the agent can do. For example, if we go to browse the tools, we can see a large catalog to be able to add the tools, a lot of them. We can customize our tools as well. Open an API tool or call an MCP server or agent-to-agent configuration as well. So yeah, in a general way, we can add a file search, code interpreter, Azure iSearch, Azure iSearch files or index information indexes, grounding with Bing search, in this case, to be able to find information in internet, web search, with a link on a web page as well, and a lot of them as well. I have this one, Hugging Face MCP server, and this Hugging Face, yeah, is to, Hugging Face has a large catalog of models to use. So we can say something here like, hey, I need a model to generate images. There are a lot of them and spaces. I I like this one. We can use this one, for example. The idea is share with you the prompt and get the link of the generated image. All right, let's see. Well, I didn't mention Hugging Face actually, but yeah, the agent understand that we need to generate a new image. So since this is calling a tool, we can approve once, always approve these tools, or always approve Hugging Face MCP server tools in a general way. Let's say always approve this tool. All right, you can do it. Let's see. All right, you send me the prompt. Huh. Which one we can use? People enjoying a really nice presentation. Let's say take presentation with nice food. Let's say that. Oh, okay. Mm. Well, it depends of the model there. Uh, Help me use another one. Well, as you see here, there is a Python code to create the image and all of that. But I want to use an MCP server. I don't want to write code. Help me. Help me. I just want to send you the note. Well, a little bit. All right, and here we can find another space, well, and have the interaction. Uh, yes, I need the link of the final image. No, but with human face. Well, this is a general demo, but this is the idea, no? I actually wanted to show you the link, but yeah, we can add more extra instructions here, but actually this one works. But at the end, it's not about the agent here. This is about the tool in in Hugging Face. So as you can see here, we are interacting in that space. All right, we are going to remove this one, save, and show you another things as well. I'm going to refresh this to show you the knowledge functionality. Knowledge functionality, as you know, or we can consider Foundry IQ, in this case is to remember things or important information in a short or a long term. So like a human being, short memory, long memory. So we can create a new one. Let's create a new, oh, sorry. Let's go back here. Knowledge. Action. Hmm. Well, we have that knowledge base. I, sorry, it's not the knowledge base. It's the memory that we are going to do. Create a memory storage. That was fast. But I wanted to, to show you some things. Ah, here, nice. Edit memory storage. Well, we have the name here, general description, scope. This is really important because, hey, this is the memory of the agent. We can access to the memory considering the user ID. For example, if we are in an organization, in Teams, for example, just that specific user in Teams can access to this memory, for example. Or we can say, hey, everyone can access to that. We can set up that scope here, and in how many seconds or how many minutes we are going to update this. Let's say it's 5 seconds. So yeah, with that memory, we can start the conversation again. Hey, I'm Daniel. And the idea is to storage some information in that memory. All right. I love to travel. And also avocados. That's an example. Are you going to remember all of these? Yes. All right. Let's see if that's true. Hey there. Hey Daniel, how is it going? Are you planning any trip soon? Nice. That's how memory works. Another thing that we can contemplate here is this part. By default, we have a guardrail here. In this case, to content safety, in this case, is to manage or have appropriate content, indirect interactions, also protect materials, also prompt injections. Um, try to manage that with this. So by default, we have one, but we can create a new one and personalize that. All right, that's how agents work. Um, let's see a real one example. I'm going to show you a multi-agent demo, a simple one. And actually, it's a simple one. So let's say if we have Jira, Jira is a platform we have tickets there and, and requirements to implement functionalities, for example. If we have a ticket to say that says something like, hey, upgrade a solution to .NET 10. In this case, we have a project, a web application in .NET 8, for example, and we have that ticket or that request to upgrade the solution to .NET 10. Actually, that's a long process if we do that manually, right? So if we have one agent here to say, hey, I'm going to search the ticket in Jira and get the context and all of the things that we need to do. We have the context here in this Jira agent. We're going to call a Foundry tool, in this case, to get information from Jira. Then we can have another agent, GitHub agent, in this case, to use a Foundry tool, in this case, GitHub MCP server. And that MCP server is be able to use the GitHub Copilot Cloud Agent, that functionality performance to do code reviews, create pull requests, all about the things, the reports, the code in GitHub. And then have as a result the URL with the issue and a pull request with the requirement, with the initial requirement. So let's do that really fast and in a general way how to do that in Foundry. If we go here to agents, we are going to see here workflows. And workflows allows us to orchestrate some agents according to the functionalities that we want to use. For example, if I already have this one, Jira Git, and this is maybe familiar for some of you. We have here an start, and we call these two agents agent, and then the next agent. Uh, and those agents, if we go here, we have these. I'm going to show you just one because of terms of time. But this is the agent to work with GitHub. So, hey, we have the base model here, the general instructions. You create a GitHub issue from a structure input using the agent tool, that one, issue write tool. In which repo? This one, owner in my organization. Input, we are going to have a title for the issue in GitHub and the description with the description of the things that we are going to do. Some rules. In this case, the general way is the prompt of the system. Tools, GitHub, the MCP server, and nothing else. So this is the ticket in Jira. Upgrade the solution to .NET 10. Description, upgrade the solution to .NET, related Nugget packages, and best practices. So I'm going to copy the link of this ticket. Let's go to our workflows, Jira Git. Let's go here to the preview section, and I'm going to paste here that link. This is the start here. This is using the Jira, this one, to get the information, this information here. Since this is a tool, we can approve one, always approve this tool. So I'm going to approve one, approve once. Then it's going to call Jira Git. Actually, this is let's see this one. Title, upgrade the solution to .NET 10. Description, that comes from the ticket. Agent, let's approve once as well. Approves once. Or approves always. It depends. Let's wait. The idea is to get an URL from the issue in GitHub. Created issue. That's nice. Let's go to that link. Upgrade the solution to .NET 10. Nice. And Copilot, thanks to the MCP server. Well, it's working on that. Upgrading the solution to .NET 10. Of course, this is not a fast example because, hey, it's upgrading an entry solution. Maybe that's going to take a few minutes or half an hour. But yeah, as you are saying here, Copilot is working on the request. And that'll be all. Of course, I already execute this example early. So this is 1 hour ago. Copilot requested you review on this pull request. All right. And you can see here all the things that Copilot made to do this specific request. So hey, that's fine. And that's the example of a multi-agent orchestration. This is a simple one, but amazing, right? Let me show you another one, human in loop workflow. But I have this other example. This one is to create recipes for blogs. In this case, to have a blog title and blog content about recipes. And at the end, send that content, the blog title and blog content, by email. So we have something similar here. Start, set variables to orchestrate the agents. But here, for example, this is the agent to create the title of the blog. So here in the flow of this multi-agent solution, we can ask a question to say, hey, is this title okay for you? And we can have an if-else condition, in this case, human in the loop, to say, if yes, hey, let's go and create the content of the blog. If not, well, let's generate another blog title, right? And if the user agree with the title, okay, create the blog content, and then we can send that by email. That's the demo in this case. So let's see the execution. Let's go to the preview. Oh my goodness. What would you like to do? Or I mean, what would you like to eat tonight, for example? Let's put a random example. Seafood with guacamole, for example. So yeah, blog title. Propose this title. Savor of the ocean, seafood delights paired with, well, this title. Is that okay for you? No. Let's find another one. It's going to propose another title. Ocean meets avocado. Crafting delicious seafood with guacamole. Oh, that was nice. So let's say, yes, that's nice. So yeah, it's going to create the content of that blog. You can see here the flow of the multi-agent solution. It created the content. Intentionally, I waited to approve this tool, but in this case, I already sent here in the variables and all of that. To subject, well, subject is title, but the person to send the email, I set up that early. Right, let's see here. Yeah, approve the reset as recipes. The email has been set successfully. Let's see if that's true. or it depends. Yeah, I'm waiting the email. Actually, it doesn't take too much time. Actually, I have the email here, but for some reason it's not showing here. Let me open the application again. Come on. Everyone wants to see the email. Oh, there we go. Ocean meets. Okay, let's go here. Sorry. What happened? Just one more time. Ocean meets avocado, crafting delicious seafood with guacamole. Example, right? And you can see here the vlog of the content in this general demo. All right. And also checking the emails here. You can see here Copilot is doing their things with the previously demo, right? Uh, all right. Actually, that was fast. The pull request is ready. And yeah, that's it. Or a general example of multi-agent orchestration here. Finally, I like to show you a final demo. I hope to show you that. No, it's not that. Sorry. Is Azure User Group. Always we are interacting with these agents by chat, but hey, we have to contemplate. Let's use this one. No, it's fine. Um, we can have these interactions by voice and with avatars as well. So remember this simple agent, we had a memory here, and we can have or use this option, voice mode, and in this case, have the conversation by voice. We can add the general configuration here, like the language that we are going to use, and also if we want to use an avatar, well, we have an avatar here. So yeah, with some options actually. Let's use this one. And just to be sure, let me share my sound as well. And let's start the interaction to see the amazing things of this functionality. I hope that works. All right. Hey there.
Hey Daniel, how's everything going? Any new travel plans on the horizon?
How do you know that I trips and all of that? How do you know that I love that?
I remember you mentioning your love for travel before, so I thought I'd ask about it. If you have new interests or things you'd like me to know, feel free to share them.
All right. And do you remember my preferences in food or something like that?
Yes, I remember that you enjoy avocados. If there are other preferences you'd like me to note, just let me know.
Okay. Do you have any recommendation for trips or something like that? I don't know. This is a natural conversation, right? What do you, or let's change the question. What do you think about, hey, this interaction between agent and human in a natural way? I mean, this looks amazing, right?
I agree. The interaction between humans and technology, like what we're doing now, is fascinating. It creates amazing opportunities for sharing ideas and learning new things. Regarding trips, have you considered exploring the Italian countryside? It's perfect for food lovers and offers wonderful views. If you're interested in food recommendations there, I bet you'd enjoy tasting fresh avocados in salads or trying out local Italian dishes. If you're curious to explore something specific or have a particular interest in mind, just let me know.
All right, that sounds interesting. Do you have any recommendation for everyone about agents, interactions to creation? Because at the end, it's not just about the creation, it's also the adoption, right?
Certainly. Successful interaction between agents like me and humans often hinges on both creation and adoption. Here are a few thoughts. 1. Adaptability. It's crucial to create technology that is adaptive to individual needs and
Okay,
preferences.
that's fine.
Understanding
That's fine. In this case, it's just a demo. Actually, one day I hope to be lucky to be able to visit Kenya. Do you have any recommendations? And I actually love to travel, but that's like a country to visit, and um, you know, what recommendations or what the things do you think I'm going to find there?
Visiting Kenya sounds amazing. Here are some recommendations and highlights.
Uh,
1. Safari adventures. Kenya is renowned for its wildlife and national parks. The Masai Mara Reserve is famous for the Great Migration, where you can witness thousands of wildebeests. 2. Cultural experiences. Engage with local tribes like the Masai. Learning about their traditions and lifestyles can be very enriching. 3. Beautiful landscapes. Explore the stunning landscapes such as Mount Kenya, beaches
oh
like
my goodness,
Diani, and Mount
definitely, I need to go there.
Kenya truly offers a unique blend of adventure, culture, and stunning natural beauty. You'll have an unforgettable experience exploring the diverse wildlife, engaging with rich cultural traditions, and enjoying the delicious cuisine.
All
It's a
right.
perfect
Thank you
destination for.
for the information.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or need further recommendations in the future, feel free to reach out. Safe travels.
Right. And as you can see here, that was the interactions that we performed. You can see here all the interaction. But in this case, hey, it's amazing to see that by voice are like face-to-face human agent interaction. So yeah, you can contemplate that as well. All right, just to finish, you can contemplate multi-agent orchestration patterns. We saw here sequential agents, in this case to the Jira Git example. Well, but at the end, you can have also network, mail checker, supervisor, handoff, custom, and other ones as well. For example, human in the loop and all of that. Resources or trainings and certifications. In my recommendations, from the Microsoft and Microsoft Foundry perspective, we had the Azure AI Engineer and Azure Developer certifications. Those are going to be retired next month. But everything it's now about AI agents. So Microsoft is launching new certifications. Actually, those are in beta. For example, the first one called the Azure AI App and Agent Developer. Actually, that's a good one that cover that covers many of the concepts that we review here. So as a recommendation, I can show you that or recommended you that one. Also, as a related certifications, the Azure AI Cloud Developer and Cloud and AI Security Engineer from the Microsoft ecosystem. I can recommend you also the GitHub Copilot certifications. That's a good one in terms of the things that we can do to perform the way that we code or implement the logic in our projects coding. And also that one cloud certified architect, that one looks really nice in terms of architecture designs to orchestrate the agents and all of that. So those are my general recommendations here. And also, yeah, just to finish, a last demo. Asus has his own AI assistant with Foundry multi-agent architecture. In this case, they have a supervisor. For example, orchestrator agent. In this case, is to recommend products to of Asus. So yeah, the idea is to have an interaction by voice or by avatar. So we can have the interaction by avatar using the agent, and then we can have the communication with other agents. For example, a recommendation agent to have, like I recommend you this computer, I recommend you this graphical um, device, and then other agent to have the specific product details for the recommended product, for example. So having that interaction, we can have something like
I
this.
have a few great recommendations for a gaming graphics card that will suit your needs. Let me know if you'd like more details or have any questions.
So yeah, that's a general example. And for now, hey, that's it. Thank you. Yeah. And if there are questions or comments, we can talk now.
Thank you so much for that. So really, all the demos were really amazing. Thank you. Just a question. What's one thing that people or developers often overlook when migrating the agents from demo development phase into production?
You mean, do you mean in this case? Please, can you repeat?
What's one thing that people often overlook when they're migrating their agents from the development or demo phase into now the production phase? It can be in terms of guardrails and such.
For example, we have these demos. You mean sending or deploying these agents to productions, right? The issues, the challenges. Do you mean that? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, actually, the big challenge here is the tokens that we use in these solutions, because we have input and output tokens. So the real challenge is, as a first point, which model use as a base one to the agents in terms of costs, because hey, for example, we can many people are talking about, or is in a trend to say, hey, cloud models from Anthropic, they are the best models, but are too expensive at the same time. But yeah, we need to contemplate techniques, for example, to use cheaper models. It depends of the purpose of the solution. So yeah, there's a challenge there. Also, the tokens that we use when we already have the model, because we need to set the context as best as much as we can, to be able to, hey, spend less tokens as we can. So that's the other thing as well. And we already have in production, we need to try to see in advance how many tokens we are going to use, and that, because that's the challenge of this. At the end, we are going to pay for those tokens, and yeah, that could be the real one, the real challenge. And then yeah, then it's like, see that everything is working fine, see the responses are fast, and it depends on the infrastructure as well, because we can deploy these directly in Teams, also as an agent in Microsoft 365, also in our web applications. So it depends on those considerations as well. So challenges, yeah, maybe a lot of them, but yeah, we that's part of the job of adopting these agents, because remember the adoption framework, it at the end is not just create agents, we need to operate them, and that's the other part as well.
Thank you. To the audience, anyone with any question?
Yes, I have a question, Vanessa.
Yes, go ahead, Samuel.
So thank you, first of all, Daniel, for the awesome presentation. They always say a good speaker knows when to leave the stage. That was just an exemption way of ending the demo with that conversation with the avatar. So my question was with regard to the MVP program. What has been your experience so far? Being a 5-time holder of the MVP title.
Wow, I don't know in what moment 5 years, fast. But yeah, it's a really good experience. Actually, I came from the Student Ambassadors program before of that. So with Microsoft Communities, it's almost 10 years now. And also it's really nice because it's not just about the benefits or access to the products or Azure credits to be able to test all of these. It's also about to interact with these spaces with the community, the questions, the comments, to see all of the things that we can achieve. So actually that's the best part, to be able to interact with people like you, in this case with the same vision, the same passion with technology. And that's a good part because at the end we have different perspectives or we work in different parts of the technology. In my particular case with AI and web applications, but there are another people working with infrastructure in Azure, other with data, and joining to all of that knowledge, we achieve amazing things in the community, not just again for the community, also as a personal perspective as well, considering the things that we can learn, the things that we can see as well. And yeah, it's really value, not just the thing of being an MVP. Also, it's more about the be involved with the communities, um, present these sessions, and interact with each other. So that's the good part, from my perspective.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, sure. If there is no questions, actually I'm going to share my LinkedIn link in the chat because yeah, that'll be awesome to stay in, to keep the conversations, not just about the agents, also communities and all of this. So yeah, in case you want to connect.
Awesome. Thank you very much. All right. I'd like to hand the mic over to Samuel since he's our leader and he can say the closing remarks and we can end the session there. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
So maybe I can give Daniel the mic to give his final submission as I wrap up. Daniel, any last words?
Yeah, sure. This is an amazing time of history, in terms of AI, the agents, all the things that we can do. But at the end, hey, it's important to learn how to use all of these tools, the cloud tools, GitHub, Cursor, ChatGPT, Gemini. But at the end, it's also important to learn how to create new solutions from them because that's the real opportunity to contribute to the society with the new solutions that we can provide to them. So the motivation is, hey, keep learning, keep experimenting with all the tools. If you have access to one tool or another one, hey, take advantage of that and see the all of things that you can achieve with those, all the things that you can create as well. And also you have a community that is going to support you. So yeah, let's take advantage of that and always remember, yeah, trying to practice, learn as much as you can, and that's the thing. With that, we can achieve our goals and and more. So let's do that. That's a motivation. And thank you for inviting me to this presentation. And if you have questions, comments in the future, or you just want to connect, hey, that'll be awesome to stay in touch.
Awesome. Thank you, Daniel, for gracing us with your presence for today's session. So to our attendees, immediately after this, we're going to upload the recording to our official YouTube channel. So also in case you haven't joined our official WhatsApp group, I've shared the link in the chat section. Feel free to tag us and also to follow us on our social media platforms, that is X and also LinkedIn. So until next time, see you and have a good night, everyone.